Good morning, students. Welcome to Computer Organization class. This is Veena A. Patil from Department of Computer Science, BLDA's CET Vijaypur. The last class we have seen what is CISC and RISC computer, and we have gone through how we can improve the value of N and S using compilers, performance equation, that is speculating we have seen multiprocessors and multi-computers. So today we are going to study machine instruction and program chapters. So in these chapters you are going to learn about machine instruction and program execution, including branching and subrouting, calls and return operations, addressing methods for accessing registers and memory operands, assembly language for representing machine instruction, data and programs, program controlled input-output operations. So first we shall learn about memory location, addresses and operations. As we have already studied in previous class, that memory consists of many million of storage cells, each of which can store 1 bit. Data is usually accessed in n bit groups, and this n is called word length. So to be clear, make it clear. So you know that the memory consists of n number of bits. This is our memory, which consists of billions of I had shown you how we had categorized this. So there will be, right, so it will consist of many storage cells. If this is one storage cell, this storage cell is capable of storing either 1 or a 0. Okay. Now which we call as a bit. Now whenever we are accessing a bit by bit data is not accessed, but it is accessed in groups. Say some n bit groups it is going to access, n bit at a time, and this n bits we call as a word length. Okay, and suppose we assume that this memory, each word is stored in a new row like this. So it will be the first word, this will be the second word, that is word by word we are seeing. So this will be the ith word and the last word will be stored here. Now if it is a 32-bit word length, if we take for example, then the number of bits is 32. In one word there will be 32 bits, and each bit I am going to denote it as bit B0, B1, B2, B3, so on up to B31. Why B31? Why not 32? It's because we have started with 0. So always when I start counting with 0, when I reach 31, actually it is count will be 32. Okay. So always it starts with 0 and it ends with the word size minus 1. Okay. Now this B31, I am going to use it for representing a sign bit. That is, if it is a 0, I say it is a positive number. If it is 1, then we say it is negative number. So I hope you have studied in your first year how to represent a number in sign and magnitude representation. So the B31 bit is considered for representing the sign of the number. 0 for positive and 1 for negative. Now, if I am going to store a ASCII number or a ASCII character in a word, as we know that ASCII character, it takes 8 bits to store one character, to represent one character. So, if it is a 32-bit memory or 32-bit word, then in 32 bits I am capable of storing 4 characters which are represented in ASCII format. So, each character is going to take 8 bits. So, 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 will make 32. So, in one word of memory, we can store 4 ASCII characters. Now, to retrieve information from memory, either for one word or one byte, that is, if I am representing ASCII, then one character will be stored in 8 bits, and 8 bits I call it as a byte. Group of 8 bits we call it as a byte. Like you people have units like grams, kilograms, right? Same way we have bit, byte, right? 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. Okay. Now, either for one word or one byte, addresses for each locations are needed. Now, from where you are going to access this number of bytes or the information, that memory location has to be addressed. So, I need address for each location. Is it from the ith word? Is it from the I plus 1th word? From where exactly we are going to access the information? Now, if k bit address memory is there, okay, let's take 32. Let k be 32. 32-bit memory is there. Now, let's not go to 32 directly. We will start from small one. If k bit address memory has 2 raised to k memory locations, namely 0 to 2 raised to k minus 1, called as memory space. Now, to understand what this sentence means, let's assume that if there are only 2 memory locations, this is my first memory location, this is my second memory location. Okay. Now, these locations, if I am going to address it using binary numbers, now I would say this is the 0th location, this is the first location. So, this is the address that I give to the first location, and this is the address I give to the second location. Since I am using binary representation to address the memory, I will say 0th means it is the first location of the memory, 1 means it is the second location of the memory. Okay, this is when there are only 2 memory locations. If I have 4 memory locations like this, then probably 1 bit representation is not enough. At that time I use 2 bits to represent. So, I will say 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1 to represent the location of the memory or the memory address. So, 0 0 means it will be the first memory location, 0 1 is the second memory location, 1 0 is the third memory location, 1 1 will be the fourth memory location. Same way, if I have instead of 4 memory location, if I have 8 memory locations, let us see here. if we have 8 memory locations, then can you tell me how many bits are needed? Yes, 2 bits are definitely not enough. Now I will say it is 000, 001, it is 010, 011th location, 100th location, 101th location, so 110th location, 111 location. So if I have to represent 8 different locations, I need 3 bits. Here 2 locations, I need 1 bit. 4 locations, I need 2 bit. So in general, you can say if I am going to start from 0 and the number of bits that are needed to represent 2 raised to k different memory locations, I can say it as, it will be, if I assume these locations here, it is 2 raised to k minus 1. Okay, 2 raised to k minus 1 in the sense the number of bits is k. How many bits are there? If here it is 2 bits, so 2 raised to 2 minus 1, that is equal to 4 minus 1, that is we need. So I was telling, if it has 2 raised to k memory locations, then the last memory location number will be 3. Like you can see here, k is 4, sorry, k is 2 bits, number of bits in the memory address are 2. So it is 2 raised to 2 locations will be there, that is 4 locations, and the last location address will be 2 raised to 2 minus 1. That's why it is 0, 1, 2, 3, that is 3 will be the last memory address of the location. So we can say if there are k bits memory addresses, then it will have 2 raised to k memory locations, and namely the memory address spaces will start from 0 up to 2 raised to k minus 1. Right. So now let's see if there are 24 bit memory locations, that is the memory address is 24 bit. If the address, this address, it consists of 24 bits. Here it is 1 bit, here it is 2 bit, here it is 3 bit. We shall see one more example. If it is 3 bit, that is 2 raised to 3 memory locations are there, which is equal to 8. So 8 different memory locations are there. But what would be the address? The address would start from 0 to 2 raised to 3 minus 1, that is 0 to 7. So you can see here it is starting from 0 up to 7, the memory addresses will be there. But the number of memory locations are how many? It is 2 raised to k. Okay, so if there are 24 bit memories, then the number of memory locations is 2 raised to 24, which is equal to 16 m. Okay, so usually we represent 1 m is equal to 2 raised to 20. And if it is a 32 bit memory address, then we have 2 raised to 32, which is equal to 4g, and 1g is representation of 2 raised to 30. Similarly, 1 kilo is equal to 2 raised to 10, 1 tera is equal to 2 raised to 40. Now, Tell me what will be the number of memory locations if memory address contains 10 bits. That means k is equal to 10. The number of bits in the addresses are 10. So it is 2 raised to k memory locations, which is equal to 2 raised to 10 memory locations, which is nothing but it is equal to 1024 locations. Right? So 2 raised to 10 is 1024 locations. 2 raised to 20 is 1 mega, and if k is equal to 30, it will be 2 raised to 30, which is nothing but 1 giga. 2 raised to 40 is 1 tera, so on. Right. Now let's see memory location addresses and operations. Now it is impractical to assign distinct addresses to individual bit locations in the memory, because each bit I cannot go and address each bit, because it becomes very difficult, because there are millions of bits and every bit address, assigning address for every bit is practically impossible. So the most practical assignment is to have successive addresses referred to successive byte locations in the memory, which we call as byte addressable memory. Why we are choosing byte addressable means, you have already seen in the previous example, if we are going to store ASCII characters, each character is going to take a byte of memory. So what we do, instead of going for bit addressing, we prefer to have a byte address. So byte address, I can go on giving it as byte address as 0, 1, 2, 3. Now if I want to access, say, a character which is located at this location, now I can directly say that access the character that is stored at the memory address 1. Right? So we prefer the address to be byte addressable memory. Byte locations have addresses 0, 1, 2. If we have for every byte, if I am going to give address, then the addresses will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. If word length is 32 bits, their successive words are located at addresses 0, 4, 8. As we said, we are considering as it is containing 32 bits, and in 32 bits we have 4 bytes. Now if I go on giving address for each byte as 0, 1, 2, 3, now the next address will be 4, 5, 6, 7, and the next byte will be 8, 9, 10, 11, so on. So we say successive words are located at, we always give the word name as the word address as the address of the byte that is located at the beginning of the word. So this is the byte address. Byte address is 0. This is the first byte that is located in this particular word. So we give the word address as 0. Similarly, this is the first byte that is located in this particular word. So we give this word address as 4. Similarly, word address as 8, 12, so on. Okay. So we say the successive word addresses will be at located at addresses 0, 4, 8, so on. And thus we can say that the word locations have aligned addresses because each one is having correct alignment. So we say it is aligned addresses. We know that the number of bytes in a word is power of 2. In general, words are said to be aligned in memory if they begin at a byte address that is a multiple of the number of bytes in a word. Say for example, if the word length is 16, it means it is containing 2 bytes. In a word, there are 2 bytes. Then the aligned word begin at byte addresses. So if it contains only 2 bytes, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the byte addresses. What will be the word address? Word address always will be the address of the first byte that is stored here. So it will be 0, 2, 4, so on. So for a word of 64 bits, can you tell me 64 bits what will be the alignment? It will be 2 raised to 3, that is 8 bytes. So the alignment word will begin at addresses. For 16 bit, it will begin at addresses 0, 64 bit, not 16. For 64 bit, so the word addresses will be at 0, 8, right, 16, so on. But in some cases, word can start at an arbitrary byte address also, that is unaligned. We call it as unaligned. Okay, so we have aligned addresses and we have unaligned addresses. So let's see how we are going to assign the addresses. We have here 2 ways in which byte addresses are arranged as shown in the figure. Now I can either start the addresses from left to right, from left byte to right, like 0, 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, left to right. Or I can also start from storing or naming the byte address as 0, 1, 2, 3 from right to left, either left to right or from right to left. Now depending on the way I am going to address the bytes, we have 2 different assignments. So the first one is big endian. So in big endian, lower byte address are used for most significant bytes of the word. That is, for MSB, I am going to give the lower byte address. That is, I start from left to right. In little endian, which is the second type of assignment, opposite ordering, that is, lower byte address are used for less significant byte of the word. That is, for LSB, I am going to assign the address, lowest address, right? So that is the main difference between big endian and little endian. Now the big endian assignment type, this system is used in Motorola and Power PCs processors, whereas little endian we use it in Intel processors. Now if you see the word addresses, it will 0, 4 up to 2 raised to k minus 4, and here also word address is 0, 4 up to 2 raised to k minus 4. So there will be no difference in the word address. Word address always will contain the address of the first byte that is stored in this word. Okay, so it is 0, 4 up, so on. Here also it is 0, 4, so on. So whenever you are going to write in the exam, make sure that you write all these titles like word address, byte address, okay, otherwise you will not get the marks. And also you need to mention the lower row, right? So it starts from 2 raised to k minus 1, k minus 2, k minus 3 up to k minus 4. Similarly here. Okay. Now let's take one example. Say I am going to take an example. A data we have a data. That data is, let's say it is 2235444456. Okay, some number, okay, which is 4 bytes, or say it is 32-bit data. Now how this 32-bit data is going to be stored in both the assignments, let's have a look. So let's take first the big endian. So in big endian, if I want to store this number here, let's say we are going to store at location 2000. I start storing it at location 2000. Then at 2000 the bit 22 will be stored. Then at 2001, let me draw it in this way so that it becomes more clear. 2001, the next bit, next set of number. Then at 2002 we have 44, and at 2003 address we have 56, right? So if I'm trying to show this from left to right, it will be 22354456, left to right. Okay, and the same number, if now I want to store it in the little endian format. Now here also we have the address 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, so on. Now here the number which we are going to store is from right to left. So 56 will be stored first, then 44, then 35, and then 22. Right? So this is the way the numbers are being stored in the memory. So if you see here, it is 56, 44, 35, and 22. So if you see, in both the systems, storing of number is same, but here in little and big endian I start from left to right, whereas in little endian I start from right to left. Okay, so you can expect one sure question will be there on this, a fixed question, difference between big endian and little endian. At that time you have to tell the difference between the two, and you need to draw the diagram with proper labeling and with one example. Then only you will get full marks. Now I already told you what is address ordering of bytes, word alignment. Words are said to be aligned in memory if they begin at a byte address, that is a multiple of number of bytes in a word. Already I have told about this. So 16-bit word address would be 024, whereas 32-bit word address will be 048, and if it is a 64-bit word address will be 0816. Now accessing of number, characters and character strings, let's have a look on that. A number usually occupies one word, so it can be accessed in the memory by specifying its word address. Similarly, individual characters can be accessed by their byte address. In many applications, it is necessary to handle character strings of variable length. Now, as the number of characters in a string are not fixed yet, they are varying. The beginning of the string is indicated by giving the address of the byte containing the first character. Successive byte locations containing successive characters of the string will be exist. Now, how will the computer get to know that the string has ended here? Now, there are two ways to indicate the length of the string. A special control character with the meaning end of string can be used at the last character in the string, or a separate memory word location or processor register can contain a number indicating the length of the string in bytes. So already in C you have used, that is we have used slash 0 to indicate this is a null character, that is the end of the string. Right. This is how we can access the number characters or character strings. Now to do that we have different memory operations also, like we have load, read or fetch, which are going to perform copying the content. The memory content does not change. We only copy the content by using these operators. Now address will be loaded into the instruction, and depending on that the particular content of that memory location will be accessed. Now to do this we can use the registers, and similarly we have store or write operation. Whenever I am using store or write operation in my instruction, it overwrites the content in memory. It is not copying the content, but it is overwriting into the content of the memory. Now address and data are to be given, and we use store instruction, and this also can be done using the registers which we can use in the instruction. So in the next class we will see instruction and instruction sequencing in detail. Okay, so till then please go through the textbook on memory addresses. In your gate there will be many questions, so please go through the textbook and try to solve gate questions related to this particular topic. Okay, take care. Thank you.